What if your next dishwasher could run a solo shift by day 5 without you shadowing them all week? Here's what usually happens. You cram everything into day 1, then spend the rest of the week answering the same questions over and over. It's not just annoying, it's expensive. Replacing a back-of-house employee costs about $1,491 per person. So here's the plan. We're gonna break training into 2 buckets. The stuff they need to memorize versus the SOPs they can pull up on their phone when they need it. Then we'll use something called SAM, the Successive Approximation model, to build a plan that actually ramps up their confidence. We've also got a free dishwasher onboarding plan you can download in the description box below. Want fewer pileups during dinner rush and fewer questions when you're slammed? Let's get into it. All right, let's lay out this 5-day timeline by figuring out what needs to be memorized and what stays accessible on shift. Here's the thing, skill isn't the problem. It's cognitive overload. When you stack everything on day 1, you're basically creating a short-term memory test, not a training plan. So cut the content dump. The goal is a solo shift by day 5. Tie that to what the business actually needs: speed, cleanliness, and accuracy. Or, as Melanie Isola puts it, know who you are as a business and what you care about. Know what you're optimizing for. Isola is the Associate Director of Customer Success at Opus Training. She's got over a decade of restaurants and training experience, plus a master's in instructional design. I talked to her to learn the key aspects of dishwasher training for this video. When you cram everything into the first shift, policies, workflows, tech logins, and culture, you spend Friday answering the same questions you covered on Monday. Split your content into 2 buckets instead. Bucket 1 is must memorize. Hygiene, safety, and critical workflow. Stuff you don't want them pausing to think about when the line's hot. How to glove and deglove properly. Sanitizer thresholds. Spray patterns. Safe rack loading. Where to stage hot pans. How to swap to the 3-compartment sink without cross-contaminating. Scraping plates, sorting likes with likes. The SOPs they can reference should live somewhere that's easily accessible on their phones. Machine-specific resets, inventory standards, end-of-night breakdowns, which bus tabs get prioritized during peak. If a new hire memorized the safety thresholds and the steps to fix low sanitizer, they act immediately. But if they need a detail like the exact dilution for the backup sink, they check the SOP on their phone. Use the 70-20-10 rule. 70% hands-on shadowing and practice on the station, 20% coaching and feedback from a manager, and 10% micro lessons to set context and reinforce. Use 3 to 5 minute mobile lessons before or between tasks, then get them practicing on the station. Pair a quick video on safe rack loading with 5 minutes of live repetition. Follow a module on hot water minimums with a temperature check and manager sign off. Now map the week with a successive approximation mindset. That's a fancy way of saying break down big goals into small, manageable, and rewarding steps. Day 1, hygiene, PPE, equipment handling, and chemicals. Those are table stakes. Day 2, time the sets with feedback. Scrape, rack, run, stage. Day 3, how to group wares and coordinate with bussers in the line to minimize rewashes. Day 4, simulation. Short, intense sprints that mirror dinner rush with alarms, refills, and handoffs. Day 5, verification for a solo shift. Time their workflows. Check if they pass or fail on cleanliness. Consider using a learning management system like Opus Training. Put your house SOPs, time cards, and learning modules all in the same platform. Your new hires shouldn't have to bounce between 3 different websites and a physical booklet just to find basic info. Now you need a way to confirm they can keep pace when it's busiest and the machine throws a curveball. Build 3 tests that show what they can do under real conditions. Keep each one tied to actions you can see, not vibes. First, a baseline skill check. Second, a midweek stress test. And lastly, a day 5 verification that means they're ready for solo shifts. Start with a baseline check. Observe them for 10 to 15 minutes. Do they gear up with PPE every single time they approach chemicals? Can they run a full sanitation cycle without skipping steps? Do they scrape before loading? A clean scrape saves the machine, reduces rewashes, and speeds up every task down the line. Use a simple checklist to verify safe rack loading. Heavy items on the bottom row, glassware secured, handles pointed in the same direction. Track their flow at the 3-compartment sink. Wash, rinse, sanitize with correct timing. If they still have them try once more, then move on. On day 4 stress test, simulate a 15-minute rush with a mix of plates, glass, and hotel pans. Track number of racks completed, breakage rate, rewash rate, and communication with the line and bussers. You want speed without trading quality. Do they ask for help when a rack of glassware needs priority? Good. You'll also see whether they apply the must memorize facts. They should know sanitizer thresholds, hot water minimums, and emergency steps off the top of their head. During the test, throw in a curveball, a low sanitizer reading, or a jam sprayer head. Watch for immediate recognition and the first 2 steps of the fix. If they stall, it's okay to see them check the SOP and resolve quickly. Isola says consistency starts with written expectations, plus managers trained to manage them. She also says, I usually assume the system is failing, not the person. Use that to diagnose bottlenecks. If a trainee lags, check the station. Are cleanwares too far from the pass? Is there no clear spot for hot pans? Fix the layout and coach the behavior. After the stress test, run a 2-minute huddle. 1 strength, 1 fix, 1 thing to practice. Keep it tight and specific. Then schedule another 2-minute check before dinner service to reinforce the fix. Set clear escalation rules so the pit never becomes the bottleneck. When do they call maintenance? When do they swap to the 3-compartment sink? When do they pull a runner to clear a backlog? Tie those calls to thresholds. If the machine misses temp twice, escalate. If 1 in 5 racks need to be rewashed, swap to the 3-compartment sink and stabilize. If bus tubs pile to 3 deep, reassign a runner for 10 minutes and reset the flow. A lot of operators rely on cross-training, so teach dishwashers when to tap a cross-train runner for a short burst to clear a lane, then release them back to their station. Day 5 is verification through observation. Use scored checks and a short skill demo tied to observable standards. Run 1 sanitation cycle to standard, 1 temp check, 1 escalation decision, and a time set of 3 mixed racks. If they miss, retrain and try again on the same standard. Don't clear them until they meet the mark. When they pass, greenlight the solo shift and document what worked, so managers can coach to the same target next week. These checkpoints turn training into a feedback loop you can manage, not a one-time download. You'll measure what matters, coach to it, and update the system as patterns emerge. That's how every shift gets cleaner, faster, and calmer. Which brings us to the last point. Treat training as an active system you manage, not a document you store. As Isola says, you should never set and forget your training program. Keep adjusting based on what you see during peak and preps. Here's your move today. Draft what dishwashers must memorize versus what they can reference, and create a Day 5 verification checklist. Get started with the free dishwasher training plan template in the description below. Then walk to the station and ask yourself, is a bottleneck their speed or is it operations? Update 1 SOP based on what you find. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and if there's a topic you want to know more about, let us know in the comments. Subscribe for monthly insights on running a restaurant, and check out 7 Shifts when you're ready to schedule and pay your staff.